What's up, everybody? Welcome to day number 3 of preparing for PBA competition. You know, as you're trying to get ready for something like this, a lot of the times you'll go through, I don't know, some days are just tough. You know, I posted my first vlog the other day and it didn't perform as well as I thought it would on YouTube, so that was a little depressing. You know, getting back into the gym routine, everything's sore. And even though my practice at the bowling alley has been going really good recently, I just feel like I'm not as motivated as I usually am to, get up and go to the gym. This is a large part of the reason why, if you're gonna, spend time working out at a gym, it's best to stay in your routine no matter what. I took just over a month off for the holiday season, and I didn't think it would affect me a whole bunch, and it really did. So right now I'm just dealing with the mentality of, not wanting to go into the gym right now. But, the biggest part of the battle, honestly, is getting out of your house. When you're unmotivated to go do something, that's the toughest part, is just get up, get out of the house, and get to the location where you need to be. If it's at the gym, get your butt out of the house, get to the gym, because that's going to motivate you to actually get in there. If it's practice at the bowling alley, same idea. Get up, get out of the house, get to the bowling alley. There's too many distractions usually at your home, TV, video games, and, your bed even. And I did that successfully this morning. So now that I'm here at the gym, I'm going to get my butt in the doors and get working out before I decide to just not do it. I'll see you guys at the bowling alley here in a little bit.
I still call your name when I'm running low. I still call you up at night. And then I call your names, 'cause you left too soon. I keep dancing in the moonlight, so far away. I look into the sky and I see your eyes, but far away. Our minds are synchronized, I feel you deep inside, but far away. We only got one life.
So guys, made it to the bowling alley. Now a lot of the times, like I was saying earlier, half the battle is actually getting out of your house, getting to that location to do what you have to do. And once I got in the building and, started on my workout, everything went a lot better. And actually it was one of the better workouts I've had since I started back at the gym. I felt a little bit more motivated actually after getting in the building. Had a really good workout. I'm feeling pretty good. And today we got a unique opportunity. So I'm out at the bowling alley now, and nobody here. Building's empty finally, so it won't be necessarily as loud this time around. And on top of that, there is fresh oil out there on lanes 9 and 10. So this gives me an opportunity to put together the highest 8-game block that I can muster. Just, as you guys know, I've been practicing this week, working on all kinds of different things, and this is going to be kind of a good, I guess, motivational, relaxing type of practice to where I'm just going to bowl. I'm going to work on this. I'm going to keep in mind the things I've been working on and just try and put it all together and try to put together a good 8-game block. So let's see what happens. Of course, I'm going to get warmed up first with drills with my pipe. Like I said in the video I put out last week, I think this pipe is a really great tool, and if you're not using it, well, that's on you. Okay, I'm all warmed up, ready to go. So the way I'm going to approach this is just like I would at a tournament or a league. I've got my 2 benchmark balls out there, my symmetric solid joker and my asymmetric solid big bro, the big bro jacked. So we're going to throw these balls and kind of see what the lanes are giving me and try and make the best equipment choices possible. And then I'll do probably 4 or 5 shots just to get everything moving. Throw those benchmark shots. That's usually about how many warm-up shots you would get anyway at league or even at a tournament, depending on how many are bowling on your pair. And then we'll go from there. Wish me luck.
I still call your name when I'm running low. I still call you up at night. Then I call your names 'cause you left too soon. I keep dancing in the moonlight.
Okay, those are my warm-up shots. Let's see, 6 frames of warm-up, 7 frames of warm-up. I think I've got a good option for a ball. My Big Bro Jack Asymmetric Solid, shaping pretty good. My Joker Solid is a little bit cleaner, a little bit sharper on the back, so good option to ball down to once things start to open up a bit. Let's start scoring game 1.
This above all, to thine own self be true. Be honest to yourself. Be honest to yourself. Be honest to yourself. Be honest to yourself. Apparently, everyone living in a fantasy, caught up in the bullshit, lost in the fallacy. No longer on earth, but living heaven.
Okay, I mean, game 1 wasn't exactly terrible. We only had one open frame, and that was a split. So, as far as how I threw the ball, I could have thrown it better. I seem to be forcing my shots right now, so I'm trying to focus on just, relaxing, getting the ball out of my hand clean, and getting it out onto the lane. It feels like I'm setting it down pretty early. So, game 1, we finished with a 209. We're plus. Again, not bad, but I'd prefer it to be a lot higher, especially on fresh oil where, the back ends are pretty jumpy and the ball's finishing strong. So anyway, on to game number 2.
The big picture, what you call reality, false melody, making you rise before steadily. All the things you own have you weighed down heavily. No remedy to always be searching, but no serenity. Can even get clemency, not even in double jeopardy. Uncertainty into the abyss, not doing swimmingly. Older depravity, but I guess that's how it's got to be. A recipe, just one step from a catastrophe.
You know what? That sucks. I think that was the best shot I threw throughout the entire first game. That wasn't the first game, but that was the best shot I've thrown so far. And clean out of my hand, good skid, good hook, good roll, 9-pin. Yeah, considering I'm already standing pretty far left, I'm kind of shocked about that. I don't know what's out here right now, but it's an interesting oil pattern. So anyways, let's get back on it and throw a better shot. I'm just going to micro adjust off of that, probably 1-0, and we'll see where it goes.
Figure a way to hold it down like gravity. Cause before you know it, you fall face flat. All the way out with no way back. Where it's payback for those who fake that. Better slow your roll if you can't take that. Play that. Be honest to yourself. To the face in the mirror. Be honest to yourself. Don't you ever lie. Be honest to yourself.
Boy, it's been a while since I've done that. I hit that 7-pin so good that it flipped it back and sent it about a quarter of the way down the left gutter. So now we get to go clear deadwood. Pretty sure that was the absolute best deadwood clear shot I've thrown in a long time. I'm happy with that one. Can you do any better?
In the mirror. Be honest to yourself. Don't you ever lie.
It's not too complicated to make it alright. We can make it alright. It's not too complicated, but we make it that way.
Make it that way.
It's not too complicated to make it alright.
We can make it alright.
It's so not complicated, but we make it that way.
Why we make it that way? When I say we gon' rise, I mean we gon' rise to the top and get the prize. Cut the game down to size, recognize the real lies, so you can realize the truth no one denies. Like the daily sunrise in the morning, get your heart.
So I'm going to take this opportunity to say that if you're drifting in your approach, you need to know if it's consistent at all. That shot I threw for that strike, I drifted right by 3 boards. So I started at 35 with my feet, looking at 18 at the arrows, and I slid at 32 looking at 18 at the arrows, which is the whole reason that ball was completely offline and it resulted in a split. So yeah, always check to see if you're drifting and if it's a consistent drift. If it's a consistent drift, you can equate for that. If it's not, you need to get the drift worked out of your game. Okay, so, not a terrible game. I started throwing the ball quite a bit better, but again, we had a split there in the middle with an open frame. Beyond that, it was a clean game. So we ended up with 199, so I lost a pin and count, unfortunately. And I think I'm going to need to do something different with the ball because right now this ball I'm throwing is a really strong asymmetric solid, and it's just not getting the consistent clean length that I need. So we're going to actually ball down to my symmetrical solid ball, which is my Joker. And because it's symmetrical, yes, it's going to be strong because it's a solid, but I'm expecting a little bit more length through the front part of the lane. Of course, coinciding with that, you're going to have more back end kick. So we'll see if it's the right choice. If not, I've already got a ball in mind that I can go to next, which I think will be a pretty good option.
Standing strong, Mad Max up in the Thunderdome. Playing the game of thrones, running till the break of dawn. Family back at home, want to get that.
Okay, so I initially adjusted 4 with my feet and 2 with my eyes to the right, and you could see it. That ball's so much cleaner, actually getting some length down the lane. Good back end rotation, or pop, I should say. I was pretty forward on that shot, and it, when it entered the pins with so much force that it actually splashed everything around. But the ball, if you watch it, it actually deflected. So I'm going to kind of micro adjust to the right every shot I throw from here on out until I can start seeing that ball finish stronger.
On the hunt alone, get my master blaster on. To each his own, bitch, I'm grown and I'm in the zone. The game is on and I postarize like Karl Malone. Get it? Supposed to rise? Karl Malone? I look around, I see clearly something's going wrong. I look around but don't see no place where I belong. I see a broken world caught up in some thunderstorm.
That last shot was actually pretty bad. I moved one board right with my feet, kept my eyes in the same place, and I clean missed my target right. I'm just shocked that it came off it and got back to the pocket. So yeah, let's not do that again.
Money made while we trapped in telephones. It's time to telephone. Be honest to yourself. To the face in the mirror. Be honest to yourself. Don't you ever lie. Be honest to yourself. To the face in the mirror. Be honest to yourself. Don't you ever lie.
It's not too complicated to make it alright. We can make it alright.
So the previous shot I just threw, it was online, good approach. Came out of my hand just with a little too much side rotation, and you could see how much difference it made on that ball. It went from nice and smooth off the back to just boom right off the back. So that's good because that tells me some more feedback. And then of course I leave the Greek church. That's like the 18th or 20th time I've come really close to picking up the Greek church. I've actually picked it up one time. I have that on a short that I made a long time ago on my YouTube channel where I picked up the Greek church. But yeah. The only difference between picking that up and now what I just did there is obviously the 10 pin, which usually would fall, or I'm sorry, not the 10 pin, the 9 pin, which normally that spare ball hooks just enough to get to the 9 pin. And then of course you're relying on that 7 pin to bounce off the sidewall and take out the 4. Or you could also make the 6 pin bounce off the right sidewall and come back across the deck, which you got to throw with a lot more force to do that.
Complicated, but we make it that way.
Make it that way.
It's not too complicated to make it alright.
We can make it alright.
It's so not complicated, but we make it that way.
Why we make it that way? Why we make it that way? Why we make it that way? Come on.
Okay, so if you guys are wondering how to recognize bad ball motion, essentially, if your ball isn't giving you really any miss room at all, let's just say, you don't have the right ball in your hand. I threw a few shots where that Joker was perfect. That first shot I threw was nice and smooth off the back, it deflected. So then I started to try to micro adjust a little bit. I threw a couple bad shots in there, but the ones I threw really good, the one shot, I rotated just a tad too much and it went across the head pin. And the shot that I just threw actually, prior to my picking up that spare, it felt really good out of my hand. I got it a little bit further out on the lane that time just to try and get some added length, and it came off so hard off the back of the pattern. So really it's not giving me any miss room at all with my release or where I'm placing the ball on the lane. So here we go, it's bad ball motion. I'm going to switch to my Joker Maniac, which is a pearl that has a sanded cover, pretty decently strong cover, but it's going to get cleaner through the front. It actually plays more like a hybrid for me. And yeah, we'll see if we can make something happen with that ball instead.
Why we make it that way? Why we make it that way? Why we make it that way?
why we make it that way, why we make it that way. I don't know.
So I don't know if you can see it there, but I had a great big smile on my face coming off the approach that time. Why? Because the shot I threw before that, perfect out of my hand, came up nice, right through the pocket, continued strong. That last shot, I rotated just a little bit too much, and I was afraid it was going to cross over. But again, good ball motion. It got the length I needed, it held its line, and then it went through the pocket strong. It didn't jump at the end. So that's what I'm looking for. Hopefully we can finish out strong here.
Way, why we make it that way. Come on, why we make it.
Okay, so overall, I think I got the right ball in my hand. I just need to maintain a good release. Those last 3 shots, I released the ball differently every single time, and then that spare shot was, I don't know what happened there. I just was off balance, and it was terrible. But I think I got the right ball in my hand now. We finished that game with a 190, so I'm looking for a much better game because now our total is actually minus. So we went 209, 199, 190, so now we're below a 200 average. But a lot of games left. That was only game number 3. Okay, so game number 4 again. The first half of the game was worse than the last half of the game. I wasn't throwing it very good the first half. Again, an open frame in frame 3, big split. After that, I kind of sort of got figured out what I was doing wrong, and then had 3 9 spares, and then I had 5 strikes leading into the 10th frame, except for that last shot. So anyway, got the right ball in my hand. My brain's a lot more freed up now because this ball's giving me some miss room, and it's actually helping me instead of working against me. So now we need to go into game 5. With the 221, we're now plus again, so that's a good thing. I need to now have those scores just, keep going up.
Like a hero, always be on the grind. In one take like De Niro, my lyrics always shine. So for realer, dangerous on this mic, cause my words flip and slice randomly like dice. Funny how you choose and pick your battles, dude. Keep saying you number 1, but I'm on top, yo, it's done. Dropping styles like napalm, fake rappers think they so strong. Verses full of hype and always ready for a fight. Spontaneous, magnanimous, cause they can't get close enough to run with us. Me, my ego, center of my cosmos. Yo, it's your best day and you like so not close. If you wanna battle, get it hard, get it raw. No emotions, I shake you until your chains fall off. What? Large, in charge, I set the bar high. You running with the big boys now. Get up, don't cry. Got skills. Say what? I make thrills. Okay. Got skills. Get up. My style's ill. Got skills. Okay. I make thrills. Say what? Got skills. Okay. My style's ill. Let me twist it up. Homeboy, the jig is up. Rhymes like a fountain overflowing out this cup. Let me twist it up. Homeboy, your time is up. You failed the clown elimination round. Thanks for showing up. Yeah, critical breakdown. You need to change your interest. Go follow cat memes and baby squirrels on Pinterest. Used to dream about being so rich. Bunch of different colored diamonds on my wrist. Bunch of $100 bills in my fist. Never ever thought I would live to see this. For the record, let's get this straight. I'm number 1, 2, 3, and 4 out the
Okay, so that was game number 5. Really good game. Finished with a 246. Only 1 open frame, and that was the first frame. Another split, but then we went 3 in a row, 9 spare, 8 spare, and then we finished out. with all strikes. So that's what I need to be doing. The score's going up. Let's keep it rolling.
Silly how my rhymes end up in your rhymes. This ain't a condo, son, we ain't sharing time. Oops, that's too much, my bad, I appeal. No money, no skills, you can't know how home owning feels. Got skills, skills. Say what? I make thrills, thrills. Okay, got skills, skills. My style's ill, 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 ill. Got skills, skills. Okay, I make thrills, thrills.
You know, I actually had to check camera footage to see what happened there because I thought I left the 10 pin. It was a horrible shot. And I ended up getting one of those really slow rolling messengers that tapped it at the last second and it went down. So yeah, that means we've got 9 strikes in a row off of the last game going into this game.
Got skills, skills. Okay, my style's ill, 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 ill. Okay. Say what? Okay. Ill, ill, ill. Okay. Say what? Okay. Ill, ill, ill.
So that was actually a really good shot. Felt good off my hand. Pretty good looking ball motion, that is, until it got to the pins and went through the pins. Now ball's starting to just kind of hit a little weak. You know, the Joker Maniac, pretty strong covered ball. Yeah, it's a pearl, but it plays more like a hybrid, so it's got that little bit of extra grip on the lane. So I think we're getting to the point where we might have to ball change again. And I know just the ball I need to go to. Well, made the right choice of getting a different ball in my hand. I made the right ball choice. I just threw it terrible for, what, basically 3 frames there. You know, I had to adjust my feet a little bit because this ball that I grabbed, which is the Swagger Show Off, is quite a bit cleaner through the front than the Joker Maniac. Plays more like a pearl, but it's got a sanded cover on it. So I just had to get my feet lined up, and once I was lined up, as long as I threw it good, I was fine. 207, game number 6. We added 7 pins instead of subtracting, so that's good. 2 more games left. Let's see if we can get that total way up there.
Listen to me now. Gonna say it loud. Don't get it twisted what we're talking about. Listen to me now. Gonna say it loud.
Yeah.
Don't get it twisted what we're talking about.
Put your hands up if you make them grands up. If you can't stand up, then I'ma pick you up. Hit the streets like a chopped up truck. What you want? People standing in the back need to bring it to the front. Go ahead with the surefire method. Machine gun lyrics, hitting you with the interference to get the clearance. Make my way past security surely. I bust furiously and still deserve the courtesy. Seen a lot of snakes, fakes, and weirdos. How could you air those? Man, I can't even wear those. I came up from the dust beneath the ashes. Got cuts and slashes from all of the masses. I function not for fashion but for passion. The first one swinging and the last one standing. Now who done let the cat out the bag about the secret? Y'all repeat it when the industry leaks it. Slow down, floating off the ground when you hear that sound. Let it all out, now get it in. Feel it like the wind. You can do what you do, but stay who you been. Don't slow down.
Overall, not a bad game. 9 spare open, and then we went the next 8 in a row, I think. Yeah, 8 in a row, and then that last shot in the 10th frame, or second shot in the 10th frame. I don't know what I did there, but it was terrible. Left me 1 less than the Greek Church. So, but anyway, we finished with a 249. That's good. Carried into the 8th game, and we'll see where we finish.
Off the ground when you hear that sound, let it all out. Now get it in. You can feel it like the wind. You can do what you do, but stay who you been.
Listen to me now. Gonna say it loud. Don't get it twisted what we're talking about. Listen to me now. Come on. Gonna say it loud. Oh yeah. Don't get it twisted what we're talking about.
actor? Who's the best rapper? Who's the biggest bully? Who's the most gully? All I need is a mic and a melody, and I'ma take you out of the...
Well, decent last game. I mean, started with a turkey, and then I wasn't throwing it very good throughout the whole middle part of that game. I just, I kept missing a little bit. I got to the point where I needed to adjust my feet left and my target left, and after I did that, I didn't throw the ball well at all. I kept missing right, getting it too far out, and it wasn't coming back. And then towards the end, I started throwing it a lot better. I could have punched out another 200 game there, but in the 10th frame, you saw what happened big four. So we instead finished with a 197. So overall, I'm pretty happy with 8-game performance. We had a pin total of 1,718 pins, so that's plus 118. That's an average of about 214 over 8 games. That's not bad. Is that enough to qualify at a regional? Yes and no. It depends on the regional, to be honest with you, and it depends on the types of bowlers you're up against. Last season on the regional tour, the highest pin total that I saw was like plus 250 to 300, somewhere in that range, over an 8-game block, and that was at the Super Regional in Arkansas that I went to. And so the ones that I was hitting in the Northwest region, to make the cut, it was usually, plus 80, plus 100, somewhere in that range. So I'm getting there, definitely getting there. There's a lot that I can take away from this. I'm noticing that when it comes time to change balls or change my line, my release consistency starts to become affected for whatever reason. I think maybe just because I'm thinking about so many things in my head, and then that kind of just makes my brain a little too busy, and so then I screw up my release. So tomorrow in practice, I'm going to see if I can figure out a way to really focus on that and see if we can learn how to make adjustments on the lane and maintain the style of release I'm using and the ball speed and everything else. So the other thing that I learned from today is I had 8 open frames in total over 8 games. I only had, I think, 2 clean games in there entirely. The last game was clean, and the first game was clean. Every other game had at least 1 open frame, and that's something I really need to work on. Now, granted, a lot of those open frames were splits, and there's not a lot I can do about that. One thing I'm ecstatic about is I didn't miss that many single pin spares. I had a few occasions where I missed some single pin spares, but my single pin spare percentage was actually quite high. I had a few multi-pin spares that I shouldn't have missed, but again, getting better at those just comes with more practice on my spare game, which I'm already working on. Well, guys, that's it for today's practice. Thanks for joining me today. It is now, it's after 6 o'clock at night. I need to get home and get some food in me. I am very hungry after a very long day of working out and then 8 games of practice. 8 games is a lot of practice. Over the last 3 days alone, I've bowled 24 games. That's a lot of bowling. And I think I'm going to take tomorrow off of practice and do a little bit of extra work and just kind of let my body relax a little bit. I've been noticing over the last few days that I've got some pain down on my right ankle. I've had a plantar fasciitis struggle on my right ankle for the longest time, and it only flares up when I'm bowling a ton. And 24 games in 3 days is a ton. So I'm going to get some ice on it, get it taped up afterwards, and just kind of give it a day to relax and let it heal, and then we'll get back into it on Friday. So I will see you on Friday for Friday's vlog. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying the content. Leave me a like below. Also, keep in mind that I do have Patreon memberships available for you guys. I encourage you guys to take a look at that. There's a lot of good value there. You're getting the bare minimum of 4 lessons per year for, only $10 a month if you choose the bronze membership. So definitely take a look at that. The Patreon membership link is in the description below. And I will see you guys on Friday.